Okay, Zulu is back and continue reading. This is Monster by Blackwing, and this is chapter 5, I think. Yeah, 5. And let's dive down into it. Okay, CMC, Venom, and a zebra. Things finally start to get back to normal around Ponyville, as they put a warrant on Gilla's arrest. Apparently, she had tried to brush it off as a joke. By judging from a previous encounter, every pony's know better. Those who watched her send the school flying decide that she was trying to wind up safe in the end. Gilla's action could have been easily led to the death of a filly, so they decided to put a stop to it. Scootaloo said that she had gotten lucky, but her friend knows better. When she was alone, Apple Bloom was the first to speak up. Okay, so what really happened in the forest? From the toss like that, you should at least have a couple scrapes, but it looked like you have seen better. Never seen better. And the forest is full of monsters. I mean, you couldn't fly, so how did you avoid them? Sweetie Belle with an extremely high voice. I can't do that voice. Well, alright, you guys. I'm not really supposed to talk about it, but I can't lie to you. So, can you keep a secret? The orange Pegasus asked. The parrot nodded. Alright. Well, when I woke up, my head didn't hurt, although I was clearly going headfirst into a tree. I don't know what happened there, but when I woke up, I started to look around and her voice trailed off. I got lost. When I did, I sat down by a tree and tried to think of what to do. You cried, didn't ya? Apple was not the sensitive of the children. I did not. Anyway, I was thinking about what to do when I heard a voice. I couldn't see it. It seemed friendly enough. It introduced himself as the local forest monster. Now I was pretty scared. But once I figured it out was gonna eat me, I would already done it. So we started talking. Turns out he kinda actually nice. Although it seemed that he doesn't get out much because he didn't know what I was or where we were. Anything. He didn't know about magic. Really? Squeaked the Unicorn Crusader. I mean, he lives in the Everfree Forest. How does he not know about magic? That's the thing. He was also thinking, talking weird, saying like everyone instead of every pony. It makes me think he not from around here. Anyway, he decided to help me out when the forest, cause it was getting dark, and when I got attacked by timber wolves. Yeah, what you do? Apple Bloom clearly getting excited. I didn't do anything. Something wearing black cloak dropped out of the tree, fought them off by himself. He was wearing a hood, so I couldn't see what his face looked like. But he both killed both of them in an instant. I found his name was Nightshade. Apparently, he has a role with a plant that he didn't like to talk about. That's when you guys showed up with Rainbow Dash at the rest and the rest of and took me home. I didn't want to tell any pony else about him because I didn't think it would be a good idea if any pony would know that I was hanging out with a monster. He agreed that would probably be the best. I don't know, Sweetbell said. He seems nice to be a monster. Maybe he wears that hood because he's just really ugly and was called a monster by somebody else. He seems to be more like a hero to me, Applebloom piped up. Maybe he wears the hood to hide his identity? I don't know about that, Applebloom. What I do know is I got to see what's on that hood, School added. Then the three unicorns shouted, Cutie Mark Crusaders, Monsters Catchers. Oh, God. Okay. After finishing his meal, Nightshade sighed to himself, pitifully small amount of food he had left. He couldn't eat most of the things that were native animals ate, and he was still in the process of discovering which plants were eatable and which were not. Partly wished he had asked Skulu to bring him some food, and partly knowing it was better that she didn't risk herself for his sake. He didn't. He decided that it was too late for now to find anything about other than fish. So he climbed up a tree and slept for the first time in a long time, letting his mind wander. Ah, Nightshade shouted. As soon as he was asleep, he automatically lowered his mental barrier, which he had kept keeping to avoid intrusion by certain annoying entity. He found himself face to face with a tail unicorn with, in the middle of the forest dreamscape. Hi there, I'm Lyra. Lyra, sorry I didn't give an introduction earlier, but I was kind of excited as the thought of talking to a real human. I was kind of depressed after my project failed. And then I didn't get to see you for a long time because you keep shutting me out. Why would you do that? It's kind of rude. She went on and on. Three things were changed. First, he could see now the annoying creature that persisted to invade his mind. Second, he knew that this thing's name was Lyra. Third, and more annoying thing than ever, damn it, I can't even get some peace and quiet in my own mind today. Please, will you shut up for a minute? He begged. Lyra was kind of expected being spoken to so profoundly. Ponies were not used to swearing after all, but are aware of it. Her excitement at finally being able to talk to the human she had lost contact with months ago, was just too great for her to ignore. But she didn't want to get blocked out again, so he tried to ask him something sensible. The first time I talked to you, you couldn't see me, but now you can. Does that mean you're asleep? Lyra asked. Yes, it does. But what's it did for you? Well, since you've been blocking me out for a while, you've been awake for, be awake to do that. I kind of figured that humans didn't need sleep at all. Humans do need sleep, just I'm unique. I can hold off sleep for as long as I want, but I start to wear on my mind and nerves, just like a certain intruder doing right now. By the way, you are. How are you doing this? Telepathy of some kind? He said with tone of meaning that he was obviously meant that he was annoyed at her. I guess it just happened when I am asleep. I don't know why, but it keeps going back to you though. What did you mean by you said you were unique? She cried. I don't really consider myself to be a human anymore. With that, I'm capable of the way most humans act compared to myself. We're just too different, he explained, realizing that he had said too much, and the teal unicorn was getting ready to barge him with questions about what he meant by that. Nightshade forced himself awake, blocking off his mind again. This left the now distraught Lyra floating in her own mind, rather annoyed that she wasn't being able to any real answers out of him. And now he probably wouldn't sleep for a long time again, knowing that she would be waiting for him. I will get you, Lyra said to herself, before waking up to start a whole new day. Oh dear. The Cutemar Crusaders. That's a mouthful for now. That's a mouthful for now. I just CMC. Yeah, I do it too. Spend the next 3 days preparing for the monster hunt, gathering all manners of nets, ropes, chains, and like that. Sweetie Belle wanted to bring medieval torture equipment. What? When the heck did she even get that? But school advised that Nigel was friendly and they didn't want to hurt him. But that he was strong, they didn't want to tick him off. Alright, CMC, let's go see what's under that hood. Schooler said, taking charge of the three headed into the forest towards Sakura's place, hoping to find their prey. Meanwhile, Nightshade had just finished eating fish. Again. The lack of fruit was starting to wear on him. Sure, he had found some berries, but he needed vitamin C badly. Absurd quantities, preferably. He felt that he could probably eat a dozen or so lemons if he could find them. When he saw it, lying on the ground, perfectly round, unspoiled, and bright and juicy. Apple! He shouted and ran towards it like it was his last chance to survival. He took a huge bite of it, the apple juice running down his shins. He ate the whole thing in 2 bites, savoring it. It was then he saw a neat net come down on over his head. He didn't care for what if he getting kidnapped. At least they would have apples. Got him! Called a familiar voice as the hood was pulled off his head. Surprisingly enough, these were not kidnappers looking to catch a strange animal, but Skulu and her 2 friends who had come to save her 3 days ago. Huh? Skulu, what are you doing here? The forest is way too dangerous. And who are your friends? Who cares? You have apples, said Nightshade to the confused filly. What she looked upon was not the ugly or horrible maned creature, but something beautiful in a way. His smooth skin, other than the fact that his cheeks were sunken in. You're starving, aren't you? School said with a sullen tone. Nightshade finally realized that his hood had been pulled off, and the 3 were looking at him, faces expressed only worry and sadness. Yeah, I kinda am, he said, returning the feeling brought by the group. I can't eat the same thing ponies eat, for the most part anyway. A lot of things were in the forest are poisonous, and I'm figuring out what I can and can't eat. I've been running low on vitamin C and some other key nutrients. I can't find enough of the right type of food in the forest. Applebloom passed him another apple, which he ate with vigor. Thanks. These are really great. They are the best apple I've ever tasted. I'm not saying that because I'm hungry. Nightshade another 5 apples before they finally ran out. He thanked me for the fruit and was feeling better already. Aren't you going to introduce your friends? He inquired. This is Sweetie Belle. She lives with her sister Rarity, the dressmaker, Scully said, pointing at the unicorn. And this is Applebloom. She lives near the Apple family orchard. And together we are the Cutie Mark Crusaders, they yelled at the past part together. The what now? He asked, genuinely confused. The Crusaders. We're crusading to find a special talent and earn our cutie marks. Applebloom spoke, no longer afraid of the thing that was a giant compared to her. Again, you're what now? He said, even more confused. Our cutie marks, Sweetie Belle opened up. When we found our special talents, what we are meant to do in this world, it appeared. The way every party knows what they are good at. Okay, I cannot get kind of. I guess it's like a tattoo, except instead of having it drawn, it comes automatically. He said, finally grasping the concept. Something like that, Scootaloo replied. Well, I don't think I ever get one. I'm not a pony. But if I get one, I guess it will be for survival. I've been living in this wood for months now. I kind of lost track of time. I was on the run a few months ago. Before that, I don't really want to talk about it, he said in a quiet tone. Why were you on the run? Applebloom questioned, her curiosity insatiable. Did you do something bad? I thought I said I don't want to talk about it. His protest was meant up by puppy dog eyes from the entire group. Nice try. I'm immune to that trick. But since you give me apples, I tell you. No, I didn't do anything bad. I just on the run because I'm different. I can't do things that other members of my species can't. They got jealous, then tried to hurt me. I ended up having to fight back. One thing led to another, and I ended up having on the run for my entire society. And then I ended up here, somehow. Since I answered your question, now can I have tell me about yourself? Do you have any other friends who are going to try to catch me? He said jokingly. Well, there is Sikora, although I don't think she's tried to catch you. She's a zebra who lives in the forest and speaks only in rhymes. She stays out here because most of the folks in town are afraid of her, and the more ingredients in the forest to make her potions. Applebloom was cut off by a growl coming from a nearby bush. 2 manticores leapt out from the bushes and began to circle the group. Nightshade got pissed off. His conversation with his new friends has been interrupted. He hated manticores to begin with. Now there were 2 hungry ones standing in front of him. The last one was barely able to put to sleep, and he has been running for a good half hour after him. The more physical fit somehow, and the more stamina it would have. And there was a maximum rate of it could be drained at, unless he got physical contact with it. He couldn't run or leave the 3 fillies at their fate. He would have to fight. Nightshade was not looking forward to this. Get behind me and stay close. Here's the problem. I can handle 1 at a time, but this time it's 2, so I have to protect you. Here's the plan. While I deal with this one. You do everything you can to stay behind the other one on the right. I won't be able to get you if you're behind it. While it dealt with mine, I take care of yours. It's not a very good plan, seeing how it puts you three in danger. It's all I've got. Are you ready? He said in the most calming tone he could. Nope, said the trio. Well, too bad, because here they come. Nightshade dove at his target, catching it off guard, while Applebloom ran to the side and Skulu dove between them both. But Sweetable just stood there, frozen in fear. The Manticore didn't seem to notice the other two dive around him, and were dead focused on the little unicorn that stayed. Nightshade had hopped into the Manticore's back, grabbing its tail, forcing it to the animal's spine. Bright green venom seeped from the wound. With his opponent down, he turned to see that Sweetable was still sitting there. Run! He shouted. It was too late. The Manticore brought his tail down. The frightened unicorn closed her eyes, waiting for a strike. It never came. Opening her eyes to see Nightshade standing there, the poisonous tip of the Manticore's tail sticking into the back of his right shoulder, and a look of absolute fury on his face. Using his good arm, he pulled the tail out of his body, spun around and drove the knife into the Manticore's eyes. The creature howled in pain and thrashed about. Nightshade brought his own foot and drove it into the knife handle, forcing it further burying into the creature's brain. Once his rage was gone, he felt agonizing pain moving down his arm. It was no neurotoxin. It left the prey to feel even more painful movement of the death. But this also meant that he had time to act. He thought quickly. Drawing his other knife, he quickly slit his right wrist. The three ponies looked shocked. That hit really close to my heart. Luckily, the poison went into artery instead of a vein. So instead of going in right into my heart, killing me, it's traveling down my arm. Now duller green venom shot out of the wound, his own wraith splattering the ground. I'm not safe yet. Most of the venom is out, but there is still some residue traces. Now I have another problem. This wound had to be big to get all the poison out. But now I'm in danger of bleeding to death. Skulu tears a piece of my tear up a piece of my cloak, would ya? Simply following the command, she ripped up a piece of cloth of the trench coat of her in her mouth, while Sweetbelle sat there, frozen, starting to cry. Now, tie it around my arm to stop the bleeding. Make sure it's tight. Yes, like that. There, instead of having minutes, I have about half an hour left. Hopefully, time to get me to a doctor or something, he said. Pony is too far. We'll never make it, but Sikori is close. She could probably heal that wound right up. I'm sure she got some anti-venom. Good thinking, Sweetbelle. She was about bawling now. Hey, what's the matter? It's me. I'm useless. If I had just done what you said, you had never gotten hurt trying to protect me. Now you're going to die because of me. All because I was too afraid. Hey, listen, you're not useless. You haven't found what you're good at yet. I'm not the one who's good at surviving a dangerous situation. Not you three. Besides, I told you that wasn't a good plan. Even if you had moved, it still could have happened. There's no use worrying about it now. We all... sorry. All we can do is to do the best we can with what we got. The only reason I wasn't afraid of it because I'd done this kind of thing before. First time I got into a situation like this, I froze up too. Now let's get the Secor before I really do. With this, Nightshade passed out from the combined effect of the venom and the lack of blood. Sure, he could have passed his injuries to the forest, but it would have haven't done so much good. The poison was still in his system, and if it damaged his brain, he wasn't sure if he could undo it, even with his powers. If he had left the manticores alive, then he probably could have given it the damage to it. But when it would still be in danger to the others. He didn't even think of passing his injuries to the girls. After a long time spent in the darkness, he once again found himself face to face with a tailed unicorn. Don't say a single word, he said angrily. I'm a little busy with dying here. How's that going for you? Lyra mocked. Well now, seeing I'm unconscious. Stupid poison. Now, well, as you can see, I passed out from my injuries. Stupid poison. I lost way too much blood too. Nightshade was too tired to even argue with his physical tremor. What the hell have you been doing to get this bent out of shape? She asked with a mixture of fear and curiosity. Just playing a hero to a bunch of kids. Couldn't let them die. But I did have to get myself killed over it. I'm way too used to being able to heal myself. Carrying a sack so I can't do it. Judging by the fact that I'm talking to you now means that you must be asleep. That's right. But what does it matter? I mean, that's unless you suffer from narcolepsy. It's nighttime and I've been out for a couple of hours. Which means that I'm not going to die. If I would have happening within a half hour after I passed out. Looking like those three pulled it off, he smirked. Oh, look at that. I guess it's time for me to wake up. No, wait, I have more questions, Lyra interrupted. Blast, he got me again. Nightshade awoke on a hard wooden floor. Apparently, the three Phyllis had successfully carried him or dragged him to this Sikora's place. He opened his eyes wickedly to see a zebra standing over him, wearing jewelry that could have been looking from some African tribe. You are lucky that those three brought you here so soon. They had not hurried, it would have meant your doom. Okay, I'm not good with rhyming or something like that, but I'm doing my best here. So okay, I will go down and fix some food and maybe do another chapter later on, or I will do one on Monday. The times I hopefully will do it is on Mondays and on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. One of those. And sometimes on the weekends. So I will continue this reading until it is done. And I will continue with the sequel too when I'm down to that too. So see you later. Zulu out.